Welcome to the Thankful Tuesday edition of the Roundtable. Holding it down with me this morning is my fantastic co-host Kirk and the epic and hilarious content creator Jermaine Watson. How are you doing this morning?
Can't complain.
I can't say it without laughing though. You always cracking me up.
All the time. That's his intro for every one of his videos.
I mean, I'm not necessarily trying to crack you up, but hey guys, I'm Jermaine Watson. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, so it's time that we start off our social buzz to see what's online, and let's check it out. All right, so literally the social buzz I want to talk about is Beyonce releasing her 2 country songs. Yes, so she's going into, she have Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. So, of course, it has thrown like the whole country music world on its head.
Okay.
And she's, you know, I think on her last commercial, like there's an album coming out, so everybody like it's going to be a country music album. But you know, Jamaican people love country music now, you know that, right?
Yeah, man, we do appreciate when...
You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
I know when to walk lost with this Beyonce and country music thing.
Same. I'm like, where have I been living? Every single time.
No, but you know that Jamaican people love country music, right?
Yeah, that much I know,
Okay,
yeah.
So, you know, they will love Beyonce. But
And we love Beyonce.
right, we
Yes.
love Beyonce. So by the 2 of them combined,
It just makes sense.
it just makes sense.
But when? When did she...
It was the Super Bowl. It was the Super Bowl. She did a commercial, and then at the end of the commercial, it was like new music coming.
Yes, I did watch that.
Right, and
You usually watch
it
it.
said
Amazing.
it said new music coming, and people are like, "What?" And then the same night, she dropped the 2 songs on Tidal and then on the other platforms, and it was people were just like, "Wait, but this is actually really good." So now the controversy that's happened is that, you know, they kind of gatekeep country music a lot, and she's blowing the door off that.
Yes.
People were calling in to request her song, and a country music radio station in Oklahoma said, "Oh, we only play country music, we don't play that." No, I don't know if you know, but you don't want to mess with the Bay Love, right?
You
don't want to mess
can't
with
mess with Queen
Beyonce's
Bee
fans.
on Queen Bee's internet.
By the end of the day, I think by lunchtime, they had to put out a notice. Okay, we will be playing 16 Carriages, because by the time they're done, spam them.
Yeah.
I said, "What do you mean they're not playing this song?" So it's going to be a, you know, interesting times ahead.
I'm surprised she never just bought the radio station after that. That's what I would have done, just to flex.
Buy it and be like, "You're fired."
They was like, "Excuse me, I bet you play my music now."
Yeah.
16 candles.
But I can appreciate that they did play it, because when Florida Georgia Line and Nelly came out with...
Yes. I know which one you're talking about.
All the comments were like, "Hey, the melanin one, we don't want that in country music."
But you know, it's brought up a lot of conversations that country music actually started with melanated people. So
I'm gonna steal that word.
So it's,
Melanated people. I say chocolate normally, but melanated, I like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What I wish I had some bags of chocolate, but we're jumping into bag of things.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about my bag of things, which is my love for plants.
Ooh.
Plant day. What does plant day mean for you?
Watering them, wiping them down.
Wow. Just wow.
Okay, so that's just the plants that are like in the living room. I have in my bedroom, on my wall, in the guest room,
You're
and
a
also
plant
on the
mom.
balcony. I'm a big time, you know, see my cup said plant mom at the beginning. I'm a
Alright.
big time plant mom. I really, really love plants. They give me joy and happiness.
Have you ever had a terrarium?
Yes.
So,
yes.
that small one, big one.
I
You had?
had. So I'm a plant mom. Sometimes I don't get it right.
Fair.
And that was one of the times that
Judgment-free zone.
So I have a few plants that we have beef, right? So like a calathea, and there's another one that I have.
Just start
and
using
it's
the
just
words
like,
now. I don't know. But go on,
different
listen.
types.
Yeah, man.
But
Yeah, man.
you know, they're different type of plants. They're just very difficult.
Okay.
And no matter how, and I was like, what you want? You want to go outside? I put it outside. I say, you want to come back in? Put it back. Then I just leave it.
That's why I stick to the simple stuff. I have a little garden where I grow tomatoes.
Okay.
I used to grow tomatoes
Okra.
too.
Okay.
Broccoli, lettuce, things I can eat, you know, things that can serve me in case there's like a zombie apocalypse or something, right? That's
that.
what I
like
have.
that.
I
Yeah,
love how
man.
you mentioned something to eat because I see something hot coming. Da-da-da-da-da, always tricking us, never
Yeah, don't trick me with the pizza box,
food.
trick me with the
It's
pizza
never
box
giving us
again.
food. We're going to see what our hot topic is today. It says, quiet quitting, the art of bare minimum. You know about it? You know about
Yeah,
it?
man, yeah, man.
Come on, sir. Okay.
It's a new phenomenon.
All right, since you're so excited, we're going to start with you. Like, what are your thoughts on quiet quitting?
I am thoroughly okay with the concept of quiet quitting. The part that I love about quiet quitting is where, for example, if you're in an institution that honestly doesn't respect you, because, I mean, that's just life nowadays. What you do is you take a time period of the day. Me and my friends used to call it, we took it as retail therapy time. But like, you know, you go wish.com or whatever, spend some money, just buy some random things. But it's also, I wonder what Carpenter Jobs is saying today. Just in the middle of the work day, just, oh, this looks nice, whatever. You know, just click, apply, close laptop or whatever, and you go back to your regular day. But it's just a way of taking back something for yourself mentally. Because, I mean, there are very few people who can just get up and go, guys, I'm out.
I'm out. I
You know
no
what I
longer
mean?
want this job.
Yeah.
Right.
So I like the concept of just doing it quietly.
Well, you're an employer. So what are your thoughts on quiet quitting?
I thought I was going to play devil's advocate, being the guy that says, oh, no, quiet quitting is good, but Jermaine first me on that one.
I apologize.
That's fine. But I'll take it from my perspective where I say, all right, if you're going to do something, do it loud and proud.
Okay.
Right? Do it loud and proud. If you're wrong and strong. Cool?
Okay.
Right? So I'm not for quiet quitting. I believe that you should do everything to the best of your ability, right? However you can, you know? I'm in a job, whatever I'm doing, I'm giving it my all, right? Not saying I'm going to work myself to the bone for my employer or for the company or whatever, right? You have your limits, of course. But whatever you do it to the best of your ability. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but I get where both of you are coming from, but you know, we want to explain to them that like your quiet quitting is like what they have in mind is like, let's say you're at your computer and somebody's photocopying something over there, and you see the photocopy, like the paper's rushing on the floor, like you're just not gonna get up and get it because that's not your job.
Not my job, not my problem.
Not my job. So it's literally just doing what you're paid for. Now, if you're doing what you're paid for, you know, you're not going the extra mile,
none at
you're not
all.
putting out
Zero.
nothing extra. Lunchtime come 12 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah, man, you're out.
You're out
No
5 o'clock
overtime.
on 4:59. You know, you're no overtime. They can't get you on the weekends. They can't do anything. Like, so that is the idea of quiet quitting. Is it such a bad thing? Because this is essentially what you know, the parameters of your job. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're just not giving them any brata.
I don't mind that because I had an experience at a company where, for example, I would say, hey, I'm barely in office anyways because I used to work on the road. And I say, hey, why can't I just work from home? And the company would tell me, I'm sorry, we're just not equipped for work from home, even though I'm barely there.
Right.
So when I heard that, I said, okay, so you are telling me within the realms of the company, these are the rules that you have. No problem. My rules now state 8 to 5, lunchtime at 12. By 4:55, I'm preparing to leave by 5. So that version of quiet quit, that element of quiet quitting, I should say, is really just in line with what the company wants you to do.
So this, good. So what I wanted to ask is like, do you think sometimes the companies themselves can be too stringent that will kind of demoralize the workers and force them to do a kind of quiet quitting?
The moral of the company is very important, right? Where you provide a good environment for your employees to work, right? That's not like, all right, I give you a good environment to work, but I expect you to deliver in that good environment. But there's also companies that don't provide the optimal working experience, right? Where there, for example, dead-end jobs. Right. There's no way.
For upward mobility, somebody's going to give their all.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to give my all to a company where I'm stuck at the base level of employment, right? There's no chance of promotion. There's no raise anywhere to be found. I'm going to do bare minimum in that case, right? But
and like, you know, on your lunchtime, go over to the website and apply.
Click.
Right, but if it's a company where it's like, all right, we'll create a good environment for you where you can work and, you know, you advance your career in that sense, right? I, you know, give it my all. I'm first in line for promotion, right? I'm first name that comes up when they say, all right, pay go and raise, or we need to cut staff, right? Who do we cut, right? If I'm giving it my all, the company is going to be like, all right, cool. We can cut these people, but we can't cut him.
Yeah, man.
Because he
Kirk is
works.
important.
Right.
Kirk is working overtime.
Okay, so what it sounds like to me is that, you know, value. If the client, if the customers feel valued, then, sorry, not the customers, the employees feel valued, then they are more inclined to work hard for, you know, the company.
With a purpose.
Yes?
So one other thing I think about is they keep saying that the company is a family, and really and truly it is.
Anytime I hear that, I want to take it to the hills, you know.
So yes.
If I'm in an interview and you say, we're like a family here.
It's a red flag.
It's like,
it's a crimson flag.
Mommy, I can get some lunch money then, you know?
No, man, that's usually when them ready to give. My experience has been not so great.
But just the idea of it, you do spend the majority of your time at work. So technically, you are a part of a family. It's when this family now stops functioning as a family or when it's convenient.
Family can be dysfunctional.
It shouldn't be, though. We've been cultured to accept family as dysfunctional, but I don't believe family should be dysfunctional.
No, it should. I say it can.
Yeah, I don't want that. I do not want that. Treat me.
All right, hold that thought.
No problem.
Okay, more Roundtable is up after the break.
That's right. People are quiet quitting. They're just going to their jobs and then just doing the job from 9 to 5, and then hold up. That's just working. That's work. You realize that's work. You don't have to do the more. It's work. People in this country are so obsessed with work. Guys, your job is just the place you go to avoid seeing your family, all right? It doesn't need to be the most important part of your existence. If your job is from 9 to 5, that means that the work messages should stop at 5:02. Yeah, that's right. Any message you get after 5 is basically a booty call. If your boss texts you at like 7:45 to see if you filed an expense report, it should start with, hey, you up? Bottom line, you need to establish a work-life balance. So remember, if you hate your job, make sure you also hate your life.
It don't work like that.
Okay, welcome back to the Roundtable this morning. The topic is quiet quitting, the art of bare minimum. But you notice how they call what they pay you for the bare minimum, right?
Yes.
It's so funny, and I love that he mentioned getting text messages after work hours because some countries have actually outlawed that, where it's banned. Like if your boss can get in trouble. For messaging you after work hours.
Good.
You know much people there are prison down here?
Yeah, man.
That's what I was just about to ask. Does it apply to Jamaica as well?
No, that's what I said. Some countries, like some countries. No, but also Jamaica, you know, the culture is a little different and it's kind of small. But still, I think it's about respect. And some people take it, you know, a little bit overboard sometimes. But I wanted to kind of switch it. We were talking about quiet quitting in the workplace. But what about quiet quitting in, like, relationships?
Go on.
Yeah, you don't think people quiet quit in relationships? Where they just do the bare minimum
to keep you around.
To keep you around. And like if you make, you know, if you argue or complain, then they ramp it up a little bit. Like say, oh, I'll give you a raise. You know, like I'll treat you better for like
for the week.
For the week or 2 weeks, and then go back to the bare minimum.
You went there. I was not expecting you to go there.
And, you know, a lot of times, you know, I can only speak from my point of view, but I know of men doing it so that the women will break up with them so that they don't break, you know, if they're not brave enough to break up with the woman, they'll do the bare minimum so the woman will say, you know, I'm tired of this, you don't buy me flowers, you don't take me anywhere, you don't take me on a date, he's not treating me right. and then the girl break up with him, and so he doesn't look like, you know.
Yeah, the bad guy.
The bad guy
You
and
also,
stuff like
you
that.
have a guilt-free breakup. She broke up with me. So.
Yeah, she break up with me, even though, you know.
I feel like I'm stepping on my con this morning. It's not my fault. I gotta work so often, okay? I got stuff to do. It's not my fault.
So you saying is that him at work gets the overtime,
So
but
we're in
home
agreement then, guys. Quiet quitting does happen in relationships.
Yes,
It does happen.
I never
It
thought
does
of it from
happen.
that perspective. I would never have called it quiet quitting.
So,
but
no, man, you
my
have a
mind
lot-
is blown right now.
Yeah, you have a lot of men and women, men who are quiet
Wow.
quitting,
I love how she repeated the
who are quiet
men.
quitting in
Yeah, men first, full
relationships.
stop. Men. Oh wait, there's more. Men and women. It's-
So how, like, do you think quiet quitting can actually be a good thing in jobs or relationships?
No, I think the person who's doing that, they're basically
Giving
not
up?
confident in their choices, right? You're not bold enough to take the step and say, all right, I'm done with this, bye-bye. They're not bold.
Well, maybe, you know, not, this shouldn't apply for relationships, but maybe like for a job, maybe they're looking for another job and they're not getting it yet. You don't want to just jump out of that
you
job
don't just
into
quit your
nothing.
job, not
Which
have
is
anything to
fine,
sustain
because
yourself.
They just want to
Then
feel
you think that you should
Yeah,
still
yeah.
do the best that you can do while you're in the job till you find something else?
From the perspective of the employer, I'm going to fire you once I see that you're not.
You're like you're quiet quitting, right? Like you're coming in like
How
at
are, you
10
going, but
o'clock.
how are you going to fire me when I'm doing exactly what you have stated in the contract? I am coming to work at 8, leaving at 5, going to lunch at 12. Why are you going to fire me?
Okay, let me give you a very wholesale related example, right? Let's say work finishes at 5.
Yeah.
Cool. And for whatever reason, a delivery comes at 4:50, right? We know that delivery going to take more than 10 minutes to offload, to pack up and all of that stuff. You're going to tell me, say, you're going to leave me at 5. At 5. For me to pack up the rest of the goods by myself?
If I can understand somebody saying yes, if it's a situation where, yo, Kirk, big man thing, I kind of need a 10 grand raise because, you know, the 17 picnic on the way, I'm kind of have to take care of it, you know what I mean? And you're like,
17 picnic, you're not working hard enough. You need to be tired more. Anyways, what about jobs that you can't quite quit, like a doctor?
Who say you can't quite quit? being a
No,
doctor? Who
isn't
say-
that murder?
No, you shouldn't.
Wait,
Oh.
You can't.
Shouldn't, because I've heard some horror stories about that same, all right, I'm going to come to work at 8, I'm going to disappear until 12. I'm not going to do any work. I'm on compound, like, yeah, Kirk, yeah, supervisor, yeah, consultant, I'm here. All right, cool, yeah, so you have 17 patients to deal with. I don't know why 17 in my brain. And it's like,
Yeah, why?
at the end of the day,
They've seen 2?
have you seen all the patients? It's like, I saw 2. But it's 5 o'clock, so I'm going to go home. The doctor who's coming after me can deal with them. I've heard so many stories about
Okay,
that.
so doctors
That's
can
horrible.
quite quit.
Yeah.
That's horrible, though.
I
rough.
don't agree with it, but I'm just talking about.
Well, they're human too.
It's crazy.
But I mean,
They're
you
human, but they're
shouldn't.
human with a responsibility
Yes.
of other people's lives.
It's a bit more than a
Can you
videographer
imagine-
or
can you
wholesale
imagine in
or.
jail and your lawyer decide to quiet quit?
No, we're not going there. We're not going there.
I mean, I could show up to the trial, but
I don't know.
he only paid me exactly what I told him to. So he never put a bonus on the Christmas.
You know, like
So,
I don't feel.
I'll get there when I get there. You
I don't know.
I don't agree with it though, 100%. I do not agree with
Where-
in those key
Instances,
jobs.
those key jobs.
No, where you're dealing with other people's lives, you can't afford to quiet quit. And that's why, for example, to become a videographer doesn't take as much work as being a doctor.
Right.
You
Okay,
get
so
me?
they're different. There's
They're
levels to
tiers,
this.
yeah.
All right. So I know that the conversation is getting nice and thing, but it's time for another break. And
Okay.
stay tuned for our final thoughts.
All right.
Thanks for staying us. Time definitely flies when good things are happening, but you know what time it is. It's time for final thoughts. But before we go into final thoughts, I want to scandal Jermaine. When we're going to break, you know, they were playing the Tina Turner. Do you know what he turned to me and said? This is Beyonce's new song?
It sounded country.
Egregious.
It sounded country.
This is unacceptable.
I'll take the L. It's fine.
Proud Mary.
I'll take it. I'll take it. My L.
And just for that, you start off with your final thoughts.
But no, my brain scrambled.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so Final thoughts. I think both have a responsibility when it comes to quiet quitting, right? The employer has the responsibility of not creating a toxic environment for the employee so that they don't feel like they should quiet quit. And the employee should always, do their best at whatever they're paid to do. If that requires some overtime, there's extra money in your pocket. But don't do the unpaid overtime. Know your limits.
Okay.
Okay.
Your brain unscrambled?
I might be piggybacking, but I'm a firm believer in once you're a part of any institution, organization, anything, do your best. That does not entail up until 12, 10 o'clock at night, you're doing additional work, even if it's paid or not, really and truly. But always put your best foot forward, because at the end of the day, your work is a representation of you. Just don't kill up yourself.
All right, and for me, I would say that it all boils down to feeling appreciated on both sides and communication. So if you have an employee, and the employee should be able to come to the employer and say, well, this is where I am, I'm not feeling, valued and so forth, before they go and do that. So, yeah. I think communicating, whether it's at a work or in a relationship, to let people know, and then you also shouldn't be afraid to quit, because you don't have to live your whole life in a job. And that's a wrap for the Roundtable today. Remember to be good and be on purpose.
Ooh, I'm gonna steal that too.
It's like a cloud, me can't see what's wrong, man. But when I look around, so many beautiful things I found. Family and friends that keep me sound. Hey. Bad times have come and gone. Good times we look ahead. I said to all who did me wrong, the memories live on instead. No time for giving up. I said no time for giving in. So much blessings in my life. I guess it's only right. Hey, that me thankful. Hey, I put my cup to the sky. Now we all in the vibe. Got me thankful. Hey, now the moment's arrived. Thank God I'm alive. Got me thankful. Me say me thankful. Hey, me say me thankful. Because me thankful. Hey, sometimes it's hard to see it. Cause me, I try to do the world a positive. The environment to get hard for breathe. And people hard for please, that's when them start for breathe. But trust me, now me living happily. Me rolling on the wagon and the jeep. It be my park of neat and all me dogs and breathe.